What's up, my Central Unit? It's the Central Man here. So this is my review of this week's Dynamite. This is the first AEW Dynamite after Double or Nothing. It starts with the Inner Circle. They're still licking their wounds from their match from Double or Nothing. Jericho announced that they're gonna do a prep rally, and there were lots of boxes of T-shirts. They were kind of like selling T-shirts. He had the pictures of the Inner Circle in the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium in the football arena. Says like Le Champions and Stadium Stampede. Unfortunately, they were planning to sell them. Unfortunately, they can't sell them now because they lost their Stadium Stampede match at Double or Nothing. Yeah, and he had Santana open like a truck door, and they got a lot of boxes of unsold T-shirts. Anyway, and before the opening match, you had a segment with the Elite and Matt Hardy. You had Hangman Page says, I'm gonna go to get a drink, and Omega basically joining Hangman Page for a drink. That's the last time we see Omega and Page in this week's Dynamite, and one of the Young Bucks talked to Matt Hardy. Can he change? He kind of changed to broken Matt Hardy to normal Matt Hardy, and his one of his old gimmicks. It's called High Voltage. It's basically going back to the Omega days. Omega is a wrestling promotion in Cameron, North Carolina. I think it was founded by Matt and Jeff Hardy. Anyway, the opening match, we got the Elite and Matt Hardy taking on the Private Party and Joey Janela. In my opinion, this is match of the night. It's very fast paced. It's a really fun opener. One moment of the match, I think it was Nick Jackson, who's going for like a super kick onto Joey Janela, but Joey got out of the way, and he accidentally hit the blade, and then you got the Butcher and the Blade beating down Nick Jackson. You had Joey Janela and I think it was Matt Jackson did like a mini poacher motion off the turnbuckle, near the barricade, and he did like a mini splash on both on the Butcher and the Blade. The scary spot in this match has to be one members of the Private Party. Two members of the Private Party did like a Pachuca moonsault. Unfortunately, Mark Quinn injured his leg. The Funny Party had Matt Hardy trying to pin all three members, like Private Party and Joey Janela did like a moonsault. Yeah, trying to pin all three guys, but unfortunately they kick out from two. In the end, the Young Bucks and Matt Hardy got the win. They hit the the Youth of Buck to their tag team finisher to win this match, and you had Matt Hardy to check out, really try to give some medical attention of Mark Quinn, still injured in his leg. Hope his injury is not serious. He basically carried him from the back, and then afterwards you had the Butcher and the Blade beating down the Young Bucks, and then we got the debut of the former Revival. You got Dash and Cash. I think Cash is basically the former Scott Dawson. He's called Cash Wheeler, and Dash Wilder is now Dash Hardwood. The thought like they're gonna team forces with the Butcher and the Blade. Unfortunately, they saved the Young Bucks and turn on the Butcher and the Blade. They hit like a spike power driver on the the Blade, and then hit the Shadow Machine on the Butcher. The Young Bucks and Dash and Cash, I'm gonna call them. They did like a slight stare off, and then Dash and Cash left. So planting the seeds of probably a feud between whether it's the Young Bucks or the Butcher or the Blade, and the Blade. Sorry. Okay, and then we got really the first singles match of the night. We got Brian Cage after his big win at Double or Nothing in the Casino ladder match, takes on a local jobber called Lee Johnson. It was just like designed to build up Brian Cage for his match with Jon Moxley for the world title. Moxley's on commentary. Brian Cage hit I think it's called the Drill Claw to win this match, and then Taz kind of like did like a not a shoot promo, kind of like disc and putting over Jon Moxley, said about Brian Cage gonna rip your heart out at Fyter Fest. Fyter Fest will be later on this summer. because their pandemic is still on. Our pandemic in the UK is starting to slowly end, and that's another topic for another time. So it's just nothing special, a squash match, just building up Brian Cage. And then we got one of the bad segments on the show. It was, Britt Baker, first appearance since her injury from last week, in the women's tag team match. Basically you had Rebel, she was in TNA. She's basically wheeling Britt on a wheelchair. Yeah, this segment was kind of like a cringy moment. Basically, had Shivani. Yeah, they did like a whole called Rule of a Role Model. You could tell it's not really rehearsed. I think it's so awkward. Shivani was a bit awkward. Miss his cue. Same as Rebel, and you had Baker calling her Reba. I don't know if that's her real, basically not a real name, but her new ring name because she was Rebel in TNA / Impact Wrestling, but I don't know. So I'm guessing this is Rebel's first AEW Dynamite appearance. Britt call her Reba. It's like flip it Reba. Look, you had this like white picture. Yeah, they're talking about the tag team match from last week about it was a conspiracy to when Britt Baker suffered a broken tibia. He kind of blamed three competitors in that tag team match. Hikaru Shida, Nyla Rose, and Chris Statlander. And also, he had the corner conspiracy, and also he had this conspiracy board with the red tape and the pictures, and she's kind of like blaming this on the referee Andre Edwards, and and the funny part of Britt Baker calling Chris Statlander that you're an alien is a load of crock of shit. And and she says, they think they took me out. The joke's on them. I'll be back at All Out. So yeah, it was a very crappy segment. Not really rehearsed. Britt was kind of like, it was okay for Britt, but I think like Rebel. I'll call it Rebel and Tony Schiavone kind of ruined it. Anyway, so okay, the next match we got Hikaru Shida, the new women's champion, not defending the belt, but she's in the match against Christy Janus. It was okay, same as the Brian Cage Lee Johnson match. It's basically a squash match. Janus had some offense, but Shida got the victory, hit the Vulcan arrows to score the victory. And then we got the Cody Rhodes interview segment. This is Cody. Yeah, since Cody won, become the first TNT champion at Double or Nothing. Basically, the promo segment was okay. He's comparing himself to Tom Brady, and then he's gonna become a fighting champion. And then there was cutting scenes near ringside. You had Cody's wife, Brandy, and Dustin Rhodes, and also you got QT Marshall chatting up with a blonde girl. I don't know, it's Ali. If it was Ali, it's like, why she's not in the segment earlier from, when the Butcher and the Blade beating down the Young Bucks? I don't know. It might not be Ali, it could be a different blonde woman. I'm not going to go into it, so. Okay, and then we got the second tag team match of the night. We got Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc with Penelope Ford in their corner versus SCU. The two members of SCU, that is Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. This was a good tag team match, but I think the opener was a lot better. It was good. SCU was going for their tag team finisher, See You Later, but Penelope Ford got the really interfered. Sabian and Havoc got the victory. And this was so really backwards, man. Backwards. So, yeah. Sabian and Havoc will face the AEW Tag Team Champions of Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. If they want to win the Tag Team title match from next week's Dynamite, will win on to face Best Friends at Fyter Fest. I don't understand that. Why could this be like this? Do another No. 1 contenders match between Havoc and Sabian taking on Best Friends, Winner will face the tag team champions at Fyter Fest. Yeah, this is kind of like adds backwards, so I'm gonna move on to the next promo. The next promo we got, yeah, MGF promo talking about I'm the rising star, I'm undefeated. So far now I got a single shot of the championship. Yeah, it brings up the Battle Royal for the TNT Championship, for the No One Contention for the TNT Championship. Sorry, and talk about but the final two, if it's between me and Wardlow. Wardlow, you know what to do. And I think Wardlow was about to say something, and then MGF shouted and said, I'm just kidding. And then speaking of the Battle Royal for the No One Contender to face Cody for the TNT title. Yeah, this was a fun Battle Royal. Like, the last competitor in the Battle Royal was Orange Cassidy. Unfortunately, he got taken out by two members of the Inner Circle, that is Santana and Ortiz. They beat down Orange Cassidy. It was really fun. Fun moments. Yeah, Billy Gunn in this Battle Royal. And Billy Gunn still haven't aged. He's still Billy Gunn from 20 years ago. Yeah, yeah, you had Wardlow kind of protecting MGF. MGF was about to hit Orange Cassidy in the face with the ring. Like a ring punch, but instead he, Cassidy got out of the way. He kind of hit Wardlow in the face. And yeah, you both, Jungle Boy and Orange Cassidy both eliminate MGF and Wardlow. The final two were Orange Cassidy and Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy eliminate Orange Cassidy to win this match and to face Cody for next week for the TNT title. And also, the funny part, you had Billy Gunn eliminate Colt Cabana, and you got one member representing the Dark Order giving Colt Cabana a flyer. So, it's planting the seeds. Is Colt Cabana going to be joining the Dark Order? We have to find out. Okay, then we got the main event. Not main event. The main event segments. Sorry. We got the Inner Circle prep rally. All 5 members of the Inner Circle. They were kind of like throwing away T-shirts. Unfortunately, I think some got the T-shirts. Others throwing it back because, yeah, they're not. It's useless now because they lost their Stadium Stampede match at Double or Nothing against the Elite and Matt Hardy. Yeah, the Elite members are giving other members of the Inner Circle. When I say Elite, Inner Circle, sorry. Yeah, they were given like presents, like trophies, with dad jokes. Sonny Guevara giving all members of Inner Circles trophies with the word dad jokes because he said about like the pandemic's rough right now. And also they're giving you had Jericho giving Sammy Guevara a scooter because he was holding on wearing like crutches because after he's selling the injuries from the match at Double or Nothing. And also Jericho giving I think it was Santana or Ortiz. I think it was Ortiz the headphones because Matt Hardy kind of rung the bell into Ortiz's ears. I think it was Santana or Ortiz, and he said I can hear again. And then you got like Haggard doing a poet. And also Jericho wants Mike Tyson because he kind of referencing the segment on Raw when way back in 2009 or 2010 when Mike Tyson knocked Jericho out. It was during was it Jericho versus DX. Anyway, so Mike Tyson and his crew came to the ring, and Mike Tyson basically is trying to rip his t-shirt off. And Jericho demands Tyson for an apology for knocking him out nearly a decade ago. But you got Jericho shoving Tyson shoved back, and then it led to a massive brawl. And you got all members of the AEW locker room trying to break up the fight. And I think it's just planting the seeds of a feud between Mike Tyson and Chris Jericho. On paper sounds like a good idea. But at the same time, I think it's too little too late. They should have done it like years ago instead of right now. Because they're trying to recreate what they did in 1998, on Raw with this confrontation between Steve Austin and Mike Tyson. And Vince McMahon say, you ruin it, damn it. But I think Jericho they should have done. I wish they never done. Don't really do that because Jericho plans is trying to recapture the AEW World Title. You know, it's just it could happen at All Out or Fyter Fest. Probably at All Out. You know, depending if it's still on. Hope the American lockdown is eased and ended. Anyway, so yeah, my final rate for AEW Dynamite from this week, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. You know, the match of the night has to be the opener. The Battle Royal was fun, and the tag team match between Havoc and Kip Sabian versus SCU was okay. It was good. Some of the matches were just building up Sheeta and Brian Cage. You know, their singles match. Yeah, and I think the main event segment was okay. You know, it's planting the seeds for Jericho and Mike Tyson. It was, you know, it's nothing special. You know, it's first time Mike Tyson in a wrestling capacity for nearly a decade. So yeah, so I can't wait for next week. You know, the tag team title match between Omega and Hangman Page versus Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc, and the TNT title match between Cody Rhodes and Jungle Boy. So, okay, that's my... And also the debut of the former Revival members, you know, Dash and Cash. So, yeah, that's my review of AEW's Dynamite for this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, smash the like button, and subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. And this is the Central Man officially signing out. Check you later.